These children live in Whitfield County, one of the poorest school districts in the state of Georgia. If they happen to live a few miles away, in the city of Dalton, Georgia, they'd be going to the richest schools in the state. The difference between Dalton and Whitfield has made Whitfield County a symbol in the struggle to reform school finance in this country. Merely because of where they live, these children don't have an equal chance. And what they learn about life and opportunity is learned the hard way, from the bottom looking up.
Set up right here, let me help you a minute. I have 27 children in my classroom, 27 individuals. They need to feel that you are close, that you are right there with them. When you stand in front of the room with 27 around you, you've got at the most 15 that are really with you, if you have that many. Okay, you feel better learn those multiplication tables.
Well, as a school principal, I have more children than my own. And I feel that I cannot fulfill my responsibilities to each of these children adequately unless there are financial remuneration that allows us to bring ourselves up to those who are around us. I feel an obligation for it.
And what's happening is stripping my child of his self-image and making him feel second class. I can't tolerate it any longer. And that's what's happening to our kids. They feel like because everything they read in the paper, everything they hear in all sorts of social situations is, oh, you go to the county schools? We're second class. And I can't tolerate that as a parent.
Tonight, you played Dalton High School. You've given away 10 ball games already this year. I went over it in class today, 10. It's just a gift. Now it's something to think about. You had this bunch down. They come out and just beat your brains out because they were from Dalton. They're supposed to beat you. Right? They're supposed to beat you. They're supposed to do everything good, and you're supposed to be second class. It's Dalton again, people. Win or lose, you put it on the line tonight to show this crowd out here. Everybody in the community's come around. Even the newspaper men have finally got around to come and see us play. You know why? Because Dalton's playing. That's why. People come to see a winner. Gosh, you know, tell them, just think what it's going to be like if we win tonight. Instead of getting laughed at, you can laugh at them.
You just have to wait until you happen to hear somebody, huh?
If I say break, anybody have coffee, you say
coffee.
Yeah, you say.
Okay, take it out. I'm interested. If somebody comes on, let me know, okay? Cut off till you get outside so it doesn't make a noise. All right, let's go. Let's line up. This other group can go on the way out.
Dale, clean it, won't you? No, we're going to be playing with it, buddy.
Every school system is different. Every school, every teacher, every child. But schools also have much in common. Finding the resources to give individual attention to every child is one problem Whitfield County shares with poorer schools throughout the United States.
Terry used to sit in class at the beginning of the year and say, I'm dumb. I don't know anything. I'm dumb. And she'd shout out in class sometimes, I'm dumb, I'm stupid. She would yell out ridiculous answers. I think because she was so frustrated. This child like Terry, if she doesn't have the chance now, at this age of 9 or 10, to feel that she's a person, she's important, and that she can achieve and learn, then it's just going to pile on worse and worse as she gets older. And by the time she reaches middle school, she's going to be so lost and so shoved in the corner too long to where it's almost impossible to reach them, I feel.
No, please, have a seat. We're fixing to do something else, do something special. Sit down a minute. Put that back on.
Like this newspaper. Let me look for some articles. Well, anyhow, it says on this newspaper that Mars does have a good atmosphere. It's a little thinner than ours, but it is a good breathing atmosphere. And it's about the same distance from the sun. It even has seasons. It has, and there has been vegetation spotted.
The poor and working classes in this country have relatively poorer schools. This is certainly true in Whitfield County, where the parents, many of them, provide the labor force for the carpet mills of Dalton. The city of Dalton is the county seat and commercial center of Whitfield County. It has the money, the jobs, and the industry. With the property taxes on its billion-dollar carpet works, Dalton also has a tax base to support one of the wealthiest school systems in the state, spending about $350 more for each student every year than Whitfield County. Here exactly is the problem in school finance, that the money comes mostly from local property taxes, rather than the wealth of the state or country as a whole. The broadest and most equitable taxing powers reside in the federal government, but federal funds provide less than 8 cents of the school dollar. Thus, inequalities are built into the system from community to community and region to region. With no hope for additional local funds, school goes on. But Whitfield County is falling farther behind.
Sometimes things aren't fair, and if they're not fair, then somebody has to do something about it. And so we've got a situation in Georgia that the people I work for don't think is fair, and they've convinced me it's not fair, and we're trying to do something about it, and I want to explain to you what that is. Here's what we've decided, I think, so far. The students over in Dalton get more money than you all do. Now, some school systems don't have as much as you all have.
John Graham is the lawyer for the Whitfield County Schools. His case in the Georgia state courts is seeking to prove that money does make a difference for these children, and that a democratic society is only cheating itself when it educates its children on unequal terms.
And right inside of Whitfield County is what? Dalton? Okay. How many of you think Dalton looks like a big circle? You're wrong. No, it don't. It used to. When it was first made, it looked like a perfect circle. Y'all want to see what it looks like now? You can see a little bit of the circle here, but you can't see it all, right? They've made more of it. That's exactly right. You know why they did that? Because all down in here, in all these places where it juts out, there's things that they can tax. And that's where they get more money from. They can come out in here. Here's the Ramada Inn out here, and here's the country club up here. But what happens is all the relatively valuable property ends up in the city, and all the students end up in the county. Somewhere in the county, there's a road. And on this side of the road is Dalton. And on this side of the road is the county. The little boy who lives in this house goes to the county schools, for the most part. And his neighbor who lives across the street, and we'll let her be the little girl who lives across the street, she goes to the city schools. She gets $995, and he gets $650. Now Dalton, now Whitfield County's trying, as good as they know how, to get their money up. They're taxing a lot more, and they're trying to get their money up. Now, I don't say that the poorest is the worst, because I want to tell you one thing right now and make it absolutely clear. Whitfield County school system is a great school system, but can you imagine how good they'd be if they had as much money as everybody else. And this same kind of lawsuit's going on right now in about 10 or 12 different states. And some of the states have found in favor of it, and some of the states have found against it. Now, this lawsuit's not against Dalton. It just happens that's just a good example. We're against the whole system is what we're against of financing education. But since this is a perfect place to show that example, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we believe that materials and facilities and people make good schools, but every one of those has a dollar sign attached to it. And so our complaint is that we feel like we're not getting our fair share of the tax wealth in our area.
It's just not fair. You know, it's a basic principle that things ought to be fair, and the way that it exists now, it's just not fair.
We are one economic community.
We are.
All of us
A
here
wealthy community.
Yeah, all of us here could look at our paychecks at the end of the month, and we would spend over 75% of the money we spend monthly in the city. We're one economic community, yet we're saying because you live out 5 miles, you'll have much less spent on your education than I who live inside the city. And it's just not fair.
All right, no, Miss Casey's room goes today and Monday. Miss Newton's class goes Wednesday and Friday. Miss Bevington's class goes 2 days, Mr. Berkey's class, and then we go again. We have to go every class in turn.
We go 3 times.
You get to go 2 times. Don't worry about 3rd grade. Anthony, I've explained to you that you made your wristband or the choker this time. Next time you can make a visor or a belt. But you people, I've had 3 people bring me their $1.50, and you cannot make it until you bring me your $1.50. You will not go. All right. Shh. Johnny, you plan to take up the papers right now. What? Why can't you make a belt?
I got the money.
Mom won't give you $1.50? Okay, we'll see about it.
I'm just gonna make my money, teacher.
I don't know, you people. I don't know that you can do another one unless you pay for it. I'll have to check on it. At least once or twice a day, the children are reminded that we are limited on our funds, with having to ask them for a dime here, a quarter there, to buy extra materials, to buy leather craft, to buy music books, to buy this, that, and the other. Okay, just do the best you can. Okay, first word, weak. She was very sick and felt weak. Maybe what frustrates me more than anything else, the fact that the kids I teach are the ones who need all of the extra material that the fine, fancy schools have, and my kids didn't grow up with it, and they still get nothing.
What happens when I tell the 4th grade class that there's a lot of things I've seen in other school districts that they don't have in their classroom, and they go home and ask their mama, and the mama calls up the superintendent and says, is that true? What do you say?
It's embarrassing and frustrating to know that you need additional textbooks and additional instructional materials and additional teachers. You want to do better, and you're limited by the funds available. Now, I would say in the Whitfield County School District that the people here do make a maximum effort to support the school district. We levy this year 18 mills. The maximum legal levy is 20 mills.
Are the needs of the student in this school district any less than the needs of the students in Dalton or Clark or Fulton or DeKalb or any other school district in Georgia?
The needs would be equal to or greater than.
Is it your intention to ask that any school district be lowered in its expenditures per pupil?
Absolutely not. We think that there should be a leveling up process to truly equalize educational opportunity in Georgia.
Leveling up for the superintendent of the Whitfield County Schools means having opportunities comparable to wealthier school systems in the state. The most obvious contrast, of course, would be the Dalton schools, right next door. And Dalton's advantages will be examined in the court case. But the Dalton School Board declined our request to film in their schools. So we filmed instead in Clark County, Georgia, which will also be compared in court and where the spending is on the same level as Dalton.
Nobody made a choice for
meeting today simply because I didn't mention it, and it's up there, and tomorrow is Friday. They're so busy. Maybe we can... Aren't they working hard? They're good today. Well, I'm proud of them.
I think it's great to come to a school like this. It's a beautiful school. They can come to a place that's lively, find teachers and people that are interested in them. You can give them some personal attention. It's a highlight for them. It's a lively place, and a lot of them do not have this at home.
Looking it up, you will run across these words. If you can't, then you're free to jot the word down and look it up later.
I know that they're enthusiastic, and I know that they're not bored with school, whereas if I didn't have the equipment to work with and had to just give them all one book, same book, nothing else other than me up talking to them, they would not be as interested. Having these extra people during the day, sometime during the week, it allows me to stop and revamp, to see what needs to be done, to get together and make decisions of how best to meet the needs of all children. And I'm able to let a student teacher go in one corner with one reading group after I have decided what's best to be done, with her help, of course. But it's not, here's 2 kids, go over here and do something, or here's a center, get busy. But having the equipment and having the people to help, you can sit down and plan, and you know what you're doing. And rather than teaching one concept, 4 or 5 can be going on at the same time, but it's not chaotic at all.
I think this is social studies. Let's go back.
What do you do when all your family's born on the same day?
You just put one little pin there with your name indicating that's where you're from. You're from Georgia. But you see, that's later on this afternoon. Not now. Let's go back and I can get you started. Let's go back. Okay. Thank you, Angela. I was going to get that.
I know that our kids realize how important they are to themselves, to us, and to the future, because we stress the importance of each individual child and what he can contribute. And this is what our whole system is geared to, making him feel worthy of himself.
Time to read, but what time I do have, I still go back to this same book. If I don't read but 3 or 4 pages at a time, I still want to find out what happens in the end of the story. But you just keep on reading. I'm sorry y'all can't check out more than 1 book at a time, because I know that some of you want to, but under our circumstances, we can't. Well, what are you interested in?
I don't know. Motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
Is it sickles or cycles?
Cycles.
Here you have a copy? Yeah, but there's another girl sitting down there. She don't have one either.
All right. Okay. I'll get her some. Go sit down.
Okay. Excuse me.
And you're saying that America is your land and you're proud of it. So you need to look like you're proud of it. Don't look like you're just tired to death. You all look so tired. Sit up a minute.
There is no money in the school for extra teachers such as art, music, PE, any of these extracurricular activities.
You've heard the word relax. I want you to relax.
The music teacher is
purely volunteer.
This land was made for you and me. Okay? Let me have an introduction. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island. From redwood forest to the Gulf Stream.
I should have the material and the resources to give my kids the opportunity to learn that it's not fair. It's cheating them. The kids need so much more.
This land was made for you and me. Now, this land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island. From redwood forest to Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Is everybody happy? Yeah. What? Yeah! Ma'am. We're going to do better and better as the year goes on. I want you to pass in. God be in your head. Wait a minute. Don't talk while you do it. Put your top lip together with your bottom lip. Be quiet. And when you have these papers, don't fold them, don't bite on them, don't wad them up, don't crinkle them. Everybody in the whole school has to use these very same papers.
Johnny, Chris, Kenzie, Robbie, you may have any questions. Bill. That's much better. All right. The social studies is the states and capitals test. You'd like to improvement on that. You've not been studying those sheets.
I looked at the wrong one
All right.
because
It's science.
that's what I was talking about.
What? This one right here? Science. You pulled your math way up because you finished the addition cards. You got your reading came back up. Now work on the science and the social studies, okay? You'll get it back up. All right, question? Yeah. If we continue in the same manner that we are now in this county with limited funds, then these kids are going to continue to live in a world that's limited. Steve, is paper under your desk? Paper under your desk?
You know, we live in the most wealthy country in the world. Now, I believe there are more millionaires probably per square mile in the city of Dalton than any place probably in the United States. We live in a very wealthy area. We live in a wealthy country. And then to turn around and to say that we don't have the money to provide these programs that these youngsters need, that we just can't do what we know we ought to be doing for our kids.
And we have gone to our people in the county for so long, they just cannot do any more. They only have a certain income, a certain amount of money.
We just have to generalize to say that we believe that some sort of equalization of educational opportunity has to happen on a national basis.
At the present time, we've got to understand that youngsters that are educated in Whitfield County might wind up working in New Orleans, Louisiana, or Los Angeles, California. Our people at the present day are very mobile, and people change. But of course, in view of this situation, youngsters here must have the same quality of education. I mean, everything just comes back to that.
And we're talking about federal aid and federal responsibility. Let's go back and consider the child, that his basic right then as an individual is to a quality education, and we're going to assume that it is. Then why should it differ in his getting his birthright, if you please, by the fact that he lives in Whitfield County, he lives in Dalton, or he lives in Montana, or wherever? Of course it's a federal problem, and therefore it's a federal responsibility. If it's his basic right, then of course it's a federal problem.